coming on to talk about sports and more specifically MLB from CBS Sports. He covers the MLB, Danny Vietti.
Somebody's going to beat the Cleveland Browns this year. Is it going to be another opponent, or is it going to be the Cleveland Browns? That's their storyline, and the season will answer that story.
Well, my prediction preseason, because we always have to do that at ESPN, give us your predictions, make us look like idiots, was Astros and Nationals, with the Astros winning. Given the fact that both those teams still look like they're in the mix for that eventuality, I'm going to stick with that, Astros and Nationals, with Astros winning.
Play action. He's going to take himself around the left big hole 40, 35, 30, cuts it upfield, spin move 20. Action Jackson 10, and dancing into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. Halftime launching it down the middle of the field, called at the 20. Sammy Watkins 10, walking into the end zone, and the Chiefs are going to be going to Miami.
What's going on, Sportscaster, YouTube, and beyond? Thanks for watching this video. I'm Yosef Messinter, and I hope you're having a great day as I welcome you into episode 7 of the Ravens vs. Browns Week 14 Deep Dive, where I go through every play, talk about what happened, why it happened, should it have happened, who messed up, who excelled, and a whole lot more. This was absolutely the best game of the regular season, and I think it was the best game of the playoffs as well. Playoff implications, stars making big-time plays making stars, and of course, a dramatic Hollywood ending. But before we get to the film, please check out my podcast, Sports with Yosef. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Sports with Yosef. Check out all the episodes there. Check out all the episodes of this series on Sportscaster or YouTube, as well as the rest of my content on Sportscaster, sportscastr.com. Username is YosefM613. Check out all my articles for Flurry Sports Tackler, Rocky and Meisty, and Sportscaster News. Check out all of the great content there as well. Look, it's a lot to keep track of. I know it is. I have trouble keeping track of it sometimes. Well, to make it easy for you, I created a website, yosefm613.com, YOSEFM613.com, where you can subscribe to get email updates every time I post new content, whether that be a podcast, article, or part of this video series. So right there on the homepage, right there, easy for you to do. So take advantage of that. It's yosefm613.com. And if you're on Twitter, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a follow. My handle, well, how did you guess it? Yep, it's yosefm613. So, with all that said, let's get back to Cleveland. The Ravens and Browns tied up at 7 apiece. The Browns' second drive, they missed a field goal. Ravens' second drive, they went 3 and out. Couple of sacks and an incompletion. And now the Browns have the ball back on their own 35-yard line. 13:56 to go in the first half. And let's get going. So Cleveland taking over at the 35. Mayfield starting off under center. Looks like it's going to be, I want to say Kareem Hunt in the backfield, but I could be wrong. Bringing Jarvis Landry in motion. Play action. It is Kareem Hunt. They're going to go to him on the screen, and he's going to cut back. Gets across the 35 out to the 38 and pick up a 3.5. No, actually, they'll call that a pickup of 5. Justin Ellis there on the stop. A flag flies in. We'll check the flag soon enough. Let's take a look from this angle. Quick screens. That's what the Browns used on their first drive to spark it. A lot of yards after catch. Well, that's what they'll do on the first play of this drive. Okay, 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Ravens in a nickel defense. Let's take a look right here. Ravens have both of their outside linebackers. First off, the tight ends here, both of their outside linebackers are to the offensive line's right, defense's left. It's not normally the case. Normally you would have one go to the left side of the offensive line, defense's right. It's a little bit of an interesting variation there from Baltimore. So from a defensive standpoint, Ravens are going to be, let's take a look. It's man, I know it's a screen, but just it's man coverage. So so it's man coverage, deep zone, hook zone. What does that all mean? In reality, look at Marlon Humphrey there watching the backfield as he follows Humphrey across the screen. as he follows Landry across the screen. Man. Then you got this guy over here in the zone, and this, and then you got a deep zone, which kind of is over there, really. So this is the hook zone up here. And this is the deep. Everyone else just in man across the board. Looks like Queen's probably got Hunt in man. But if you're Baker Mayfield, you're not 100% sure of what's happening here for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you take a look at the line of scrimmage, you got a lot of different options of who could be coming and who does come. Jihad Ward comes. I'm pretty sure Patrick Queen, number 48, is responsible for Kareem Hunt in man coverage. So you do have a little. So it ends up turning into a 4-man rush. Obviously, you want to run a screen against the blitz. That's where you'll get the most success. Not necessarily what happens this time, though. So let's take a look at this screen. Right off the bat, play action. Look at Derek Wolfe immediately beating Jedrick Wills to the inside. I mean, just absolutely gets there right away. Justin Ellis, they just let him go. So you've got Wyatt Teller getting out in front to block for Kareem Hunt. J.C. Treader, excuse me, that's Batonio's getting out in front. J.C. Treader, he's getting out in front. Wyatt Teller, he lets Madubuike get around him. He's going to go out and block. And then Jihad Ward and Jack Conklin right here. Conklin's going to actually stay in and block. But the guys who recognize this are Justin Ellis, Patrick Queen. Batonio is only able to block one of them. He blocks Queen. Now, Hunt right here does a nice move. Uno. Whole bunch of stuff fell down. But I was able to get it. No harm done, I think. Hopefully. Let's just slow this down right here. Watch Hunt cut back here on Justin Ellis. Spins back here. Ellis keeps on fighting, keeps on trying to get there, and he's going to be the one who actually makes a stop. So very good job by Justin Ellis. As he'll get out, they ended up marking the ball at the 40-yard line. So a pickup of 5. I can't tell. I think we're off slow mode now. I mean, so Teller just lets Madubuike go. This is the screen concept, where you got guys out in front blocking, and then you get the ball in your hands of a playmaker, of the playmakers. Let them do it. So, I talked earlier about how this plays man coverage. Here's why one of the reasons the screen works well. Look at the wide receivers. Look at all the cornerbacks right here. None of them realize it's a screen. So look how far down the field. And the Browns did this earlier in the game by using vertical routes to clear out a whole bunch of space for a screen. I think they did this actually maybe their first play. Look how much space there is here. There's more space there. You got some space. There's just a lot of space for the Browns to work with in Kareem Hunt. And they do this by verticals because it's man coverage. And what they do to know if it's man coverage, they brought Jarvis Landry across the formation. Right? They bring out Landry, Humphrey follows. You know it's man coverage. What does that mean? Well, it means is when you run vertical routes, you got all this space underneath. So this is something that we're starting to see. I'm starting to see a repetition of from the Browns. I think Browns, and I'll be honest, I really like this strategy. I really like the way they use vertical routes to create space on screens. And because the eyes are on the receivers, because it's man coverage, you don't watch the quarterback, you watch your receiver, and so that helps as well. So talked about the flag. No Brandon Williams on this play, which you may not have noticed. It's Ellis and Madubuike and Wolf up front. So there is a penalty here. It's on Marcus Peters versus Donovan Peoples-Jones. They're going to call him for illegal use of hands to the face. Watch right. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get an angle of this, But we might be able to right there. Oh, it's kind of right there. Kind of see, if you kind of can see Peoples-Jones's helmet just get hit back. That's where it happens. It is the correct call, so it's going to add 5 yards after the play. So an extra 5 yards there for Cleveland, and just like that, they just get a 5-yard screen, 5-yard penalty, and it's a first down and 10 at their own 45, and they are starting to get a drive going. Let's watch this one last time. Kareem Hunt here in the backfield. It's gonna be play action. This is just a halfback slip screen. If you play Madden, you'll run this all the time, at least in Madden Mobile. And just a nice cutback to get Ellis. Great pursuit by Ellis. 71 right there, Justin Ellis. He's the guy who makes the tackle, and you can watch again right here. Great pursuit. He is right over here, lined up in that left A gap, left one tech spot. Cutting back, spinning off of Wyatt Teller, and just a great job there by Kareem Hunt and Justin Ellis. And so that brings up a first down and 10 now for Cleveland. Kareem Hunt stays in the game. I've talked about this I formation. Got David Njoku coming in motion. No one follows. It's zone coverage. And this is just going to be a handoff right up the middle. Kareem Hunt pushing the pile, and he's going to get all the way out to the 44-yard line. Hold on. I'm missing something on the spot. Maybe... Okay, so excuse me. The screenplay did not count. It was negated. That makes more sense. It was negated by legal use of hands on Marcus Peters. So they're at the 40-yard line, and this will get them out to the 44. Again, this straight I formation. Janovich the up back, Kareem Hunt the deep back. Handoff. Halfback going right up the A gap. And getting 4. Judon Ellis there on the stop. Still no Brandon Williams. Still the same front 4 for Cleveland. Look at Matthew Judon. So right here is a tight end, David Njoku. Jihad Ward, he's the rush linebacker. We talked about this in previous episodes. And Matthew Judon, he's the sandbacker. He's going to take guys in coverage. And he's on the wrong side here, though. So this is just an interesting piece here. So you got to think, if you're Baker Mayfield, and it's not a pass concept, but if it was, you would think that Clark's got the coverage assignment on Hunt. That would be my gut. And then Judon's probably... I mean, Judon could drop back and take the zone or something, or he could go in. Either way. But just a bit of an interesting piece there from the Ravens. So let's take a look at this run. Fun part about runs is you're never 100% sure the way they're meant to go, just because... Well, you'll see here. LJ Fort with a nice jump there. Okay. Double teaming Matt BK. Andy Janovich is going off to Malik Harrison. So that leads me to believe right here, the run, they're trying to take Matt they're going to get Matt BK out of there. Janovich is going to come up here and block Malik Harrison. And what normally happens is the running back's job is just going to be follow your blockers. So they're probably meant to go here in the seam gap between the right tackle and the tight ends. It's probably something like, let's get back to yellow for the blocking scheme. Probably meant to be something like this. And then I guess someone's probably going to, my gut would be someone bumps and gets into the second level. Quick shove and then there. So that's normally what the blocking scheme could technically be. Let's see what they end up doing. They're going to double Matabike. Janovich is going to go into Harrison, and Njoku has Ward. And so instead of J.C. Treader, it's Wyatt Teller who's going to go up to the second level to take on L.J. Ford. But in doing so, I mean, Malik Harrison's not giving up much ground here, right? Andy Janovich is going to trying to drive him back out of this hole. Janovich is going to try to bring him here to create room for a cut from Hunt. There's no room, though. Harrison's not given any ground, so Hunt spies a hole right here in that A gap because Waitella coming up and sealing off Ford. And so what he's going to do is he's going to say, okay, I'm going to change the plan here. So you see him cut back And Justin Ellis goes and gets a hand on him. He's like, Justin Ellis is like, no, you don't. You don't run in my gap. Gets a hand on him, but Hunt keeps on pushing, and then LJ Ford and Matthew Judon. Judon's gonna watch Judon. He's blitzing here. He's picked up by Joel Batonio, number 75, but he's never really fully picked up as he's just able to walk off and get there to make the stop. But Hunt does a nice job moving the piles. Take a look at Derek Wolf. Again, lined up very wide. You don't normally see Wolf outside a tackle. He's a defensive tackle, so technically he might line up somewhere. He might line up there or there or there. Probably not there, actually. You don't normally line up on top of the center. If you're he could every now and then. This one's a little bit less likely. But out here, nah, it's not where you normally line up if you're a defensive tackle. But he does in this time. Going against Jedrick Wills, this is going to be Wills is a weak point of this Browns line, and Wolf just handles him, but he doesn't get by him. Neither side really. I mean, Wills wins because he takes care of Wolf. Wolf's got to. It's much tougher for the defensive line. Not only does the defensive lineman have to beat the guy, he's then got to get into the backfield and get past him. It's not just about beating that initial punch. And the Browns will push that pile out. So, okay. And so, I mean, Ellis hits Hunt right when he's at the 41-yard line. But what's tough to tell at this angle is it's J.C. Treader, number 64, and Joel Batonio, number 75. They push Hunt into a gain of 4. You can kind of see it's these two guys right here who push him forward. So that's just an interesting piece there. So, interesting piece here, which you might not have noticed. Watch David. Oh, did I go too far? I think I did. Okay, so David Njoku is going to come into motion. We don't need to be on slow for this. Comes across the field. He's going to go in, and so you want this is Rashard Higgins here. He takes a step back. Higgins goes there, and Higgins goes back. Why? Talked about this a little bit last episode, and I'll just reiterate it. You can only have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. 6, 7. And Njoku wanted to line up right there, and this is normally by design of who lines up but so Higgins takes a step back so that they don't have an illegal formation penalty. And one last note. Marcus Peters working against Rashard Higgins. Excuse me, that's Jarvis Landry. That's Jarvis Landry out there. Watch Peters and Landry here. Ignore this run play. Watch these two. They are fighting the whole way. Blows happening. It's getting chippy out there. AFC North football. This is it. This is what you're going to start seeing as this game goes on a little bit more. This is a Ravens Steelers thing to do, not Ravens Browns. But Browns are playing well. They're back in contention. They're ahead of the Ravens in the division, and Landry and Peters are going at it. Referee's kind of just letting them go right now. I'm not sure if that's what really their focus is. So just an interesting sign note to keep an eye on as this game continues. Okay, let's watch this one more time. Interesting they use Hunt as a runner. No, I mean, Chumbias normally gets twice as many carries as Hunt, but this is one of the few carries in the eye. Pushing the pile are J.C. Treader and Joel Batonio, so to make it a pickup of 4. Justin Ellis there to help make a stop for the Ravens, along with Matthew Judon and Jihad Ward getting over there as well. And just one more look. Justin Ellis right here in this A gap. He gets the first hit. Judon gets over there as well. LJ Ford. Jihad Ward really didn't do all that much, but LJ Ford there to lend a shoulder when necessary as well. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for Cleveland. Ball on their own 44. Kareem Hunt remains in shotgun. Back to the right. 2 receivers left. 1 right. Takes a snap. Pumps right. Nothing there. Back to the left. Firing. Deep ball. Humphrey will against Higgins. And Humphrey will dive in front of that ball to knock it out. And we should get a I don't know if this is a good angle or not. It might be, but it could be. It's a tough one as well. Let's take a look. Looking right, pumping there, no. Now going back left, not a great angle. From if we could see from, but if the camera was about right here, somewhere going this way, you would see Humphrey diving in front to be able to knocking that ball out. Okay, 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Nickel, Ravens of the nickel. Normally, Deshaun Elliott is the deep safety, and Chuck Clark will play up. Well, so initially, what the Ravens are showing is Clark. Okay, Clark playing back and Elliott taking up. The last second, though, they're going to switch. Elliott's going to head back, and Clark will head on up. Let's just watch that quickly. Watch that take place. The last second, right before the snap, Mayfield thinks he knows what the defense is. Do you, though? And Clark, a very late blitz. All right. So we talked a little bit about rush and Sam backers. Here's Yannick Ngakoue right here. Ngakoue is a rush linebacker. Talked about this in past episodes a little bit. Watch what he does here. No, he drops back into coverage and then comes in. This is not this is just not the normal that we see from Ngakoue. Ngakoue is not a rush linebacker. And let's go over this one more time. Sam linebacker is a outside linebacker who can play coverage as well. And rush linebacker is a linebacker who is only going to rush the passer. Terrell Suggs was a rush linebacker. Matthew Judon, Tyus Bowser are the Ravens' Sam linebackers. The others are all rush. But Ngakoue dropping and then coming in late. Still no Brandon Williams. Still no Nick Chubb. Gotta wonder if something's up between those two. If maybe it's an injury thing. I'm not sure. Remember Jimmy Smith went out earlier. He's back in. Let's take a look at these route combos, and then we'll turn to the actual play itself. Okay, so look at how open Donovan Peoples-Jones gets. He runs almost what I would call a reverse whip route. Watch him right here, working against Jimmy Smith, off coverage. He's going to go out and then just cut in. And he beats him, and he beats him badly. We'll talk about that in a second. Jarvis Landry trying to get down the field versus Marcus Peters. Not much there. Pretty good coverage. So, what do I mean by a whip route? Let's go to the blackboard. Whip route is if this is, hold on, let me select this option. If these are, okay, bad, okay, I'm going to redo these sidelines because that just annoys me. Probably still won't be great, but they'll be better because I've got a line drawing tool. Okay. Definitely better. So a whip route is when, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, a whip route is going to be that. You're going to run, you're going to show the slant, then you're going to cut back and get to the sideline. What, and I know I'll do it on the side also. What he's going to run is he's going to run an out and cut back over the middle. Or maybe not even, maybe the out route's not even that big. Maybe it's only till here, but then cuts back over the middle. And he beats Jimmy Smith really badly. This is a nice route by Donovan Peoples-Jones, so let's just give him some credit for that. You can see him bottom of the screen right here, number 11. And he beats him badly. Ball's right here, and he's going to Rashard Higgins, who working against Marlon Humphrey plus coverage. Outside release for Higgins. Now he's going to need to come back over the middle. And he does. Look how much, he's got the space here. Humphrey's behind him. Mayfield sees that, but then Humphrey diving in front and knocks this ball out with the punch. Great job by Marlon Humphrey. But look at this coverage here. Initially starts really good, but if I'm Baker Mayfield, I've got the room to fit it in there. Let's wait. Here's the snap, getting down the field. All right, Mayfield releases the ball right here, right around there. Look how much where he could put the ball. If he puts the ball like right here, because of Higgins' body, Humphrey's really out of the play, and he does that. That's exactly what Mayfield does. The issue is Marlon Humphrey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and he just jumps around. And he comes back on him. I would say, so if I'm running this play, or if Mayfield probably has his back, you've got to think he wants it just a little bit shallower. He wants to force his receiver just to come in just a little bit more to the ball. Just maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Throwing it maybe more like the 35, not the 30-yard line. Make your receiver come in and use his body as protection to the ball. The other part of this is, which again you're not going to be able to see on the film, is Higgins let the ball come into his body. Higgins needs to reach out and punt and catch the ball. Hands to the ball. The receiver goes to the ball doesn't go to you. Higgins does not reach out to catch the ball. He lets the ball hit him because he thinks he's wide open. And that's what costs him on this play. So let's just take a look. Right off the bat, Mayfield, he's looking right and pumping right. Right? Looked like so I think what he's looking for was this. Landry's running a wheel route. If he's going to pump right, he pumps when Landry's about right there, hoping to get Peters to come up a little bit and then let Landry get a step down the field. Peters doesn't, so Mayfield's just going to look away, saying, okay, I think that's what's happening, right? Yeah, pump right at the flat. Peters is not looking. This is the one time Peters is not looking at the quarterback in man coverage. So he just stays with him, and he's, look at this protection. We'll switch to the protection next, and then go into Rashard Higgins, 27 yards down the field. Incomplete. Okay, protection. What's going on here? Great pocket. Absolutely great pocket. Matthew Judon, he's going to drop here. Njoku's staying into block, though. Chuck Clark, a very late blitz. First off, Njoku, quick chip there on Matabike. He's like, oh, I've got all day. May as well help out someone else. So Clark's going to go in here in coverage. Matabike just handled. He doesn't have anything there. Justin Ellis, he's kind of being double teamed here. J.C. Treader, Justin Ellis, not much there. So Patrick Nwasi, let's watch on, Patrick Queen, right over here. He's going to try to go against Batonio. Says, okay, nothing there. I'm going to circle back around. The issue is, it just takes time. Derek Wolfe, he was handled by Jedrick Wills. Ngakoue comes free at the quarterback. After dropping, seeing that there's no reason to drop, there's no one on his side, so he just eventually heads in. I have to wonder if this is a purposeful strategy to say we're going to drop, we're going to let everyone go into the blocking schemes and then go in. But Wills versus Wolf, well, I mean, this is just great blocking by Cleveland. They give Mayfield a lot of time to work with. Let's take a look one more time at this. Just look at the pocket here. Pocket around Baker Mayfield. Nothing, I mean, just no one in his face all day to throw. And throwing, then it's only Marlon Humphrey is able. If it wasn't for Marlon Humphrey, that's a 27-yard gain. Let's watch it one last time. Mayfield in the shotgun brings Landry in motion. Looking right, nothing there. Back to the left and going now over the middle, where it will be knocked away by Marlon Humphrey. Throws out the arm, saying, no, you don't. Kareem Hunt still in, on second and 6. Mayfield brings Landry in motion. You see Queen lined up on the left side, tries to come in on the right, nothing there. Racing back around to his left. As Ngakoue comes in, Mayfield throws. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 6. And the Browns are going to go with 12 personnel here. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Ravens the nickel defense. It's still Kareem Hunt in, and still no Brandon Williams. Calais Campbell in for the first time this drive, though. See him right there. There's Pernell McPhee. First time he's in this drive. Under pressure, racing out right, firing Harrison Bryant, incomplete. So that will bring on the punting unit on 4th down and 6, but we're not there yet. Got to figure out what happened on this play. Ravens showing 4. There's Campbell. There's McPhee lined up inside. Ngakoue outside. Judon stunting. He's trying to chase him down, and it's off the hands of Harrison Bryant, rookie tight end. Okay, so Judon's right here. The tight end's to the left though. So again, interesting point here with Judon. He's a Sam backer. He's going to be taking the tight end who's right there. So right off the bat, he's not taking the tight end. He's going to be coming in unless he decides to drop out and play like his own coverage. So, but interesting that he's lined up for the rush side and Ngakwe's on the Sam side. Just an interesting note right there. All right, let's take a look at this. At these pass concepts. Out and go, mesh, and swing. Okay. So here's what we got here. We've got a guy coming across here, coming across. Landry's gonna run something similar to what I think it was Higgins who ran, Peoples-Jones who ran early in this drive. He's gonna. This is kind of what Jarvis Landry runs. Hunt's gonna swing out. He's gonna get down the field. This is a mesh concept. It's it's man coverage. This is what you want to do. You want to get it's a basic pick play. Nice easy throws for Baker Mayfield. That's the goal on this one. Here's the issue. It's zone. It's zone coverage, not man. And look, Jimmy Smith dropping back into deep zone. And there's just Baker Mayfield's just under a lot of pressure also. 3rd down and 6. Ravens love to bring the house here. They don't. They only bring 4. It's Patrick Queen who's taking David Njoku because Judon was on the left side. But look at Judon and Campbell right here. Judon's going to go to the... it's not even a stump. Working versus Jack Conklin. He goes to the inside and just gets by him. And so he's not... But Conklin wins here, right? Conklin does a good job. He settles up. But here's the issue. Clay's Campbell working versus Wyatt Teller. Well, Campbell just is going to take an outside move, be pushed outside, and then just circle around. Forces Mayfield to step up. Now, Judon now has a shot at him because he's stepping up. We'll take a look at Ngakwe coming around the left edge versus Wills. That kind of forces Mayfield to I might want to step up also. Pernell McPhee, nothing there. He's being double teamed. But he'll eventually spin off. Mayfield, the first down is at the 50-yard line. He doesn't really have enough room to run, but he's got a tight end right in front of him. It's Harrison Bryant, and he sees him. And so he goes. The throw's off the mark. Bryant is here. The ball is there, just a little bit off the mark. Bryant makes a shot at it. He probably should catch this. It's a very doable catch, but he doesn't. It's a very hard throw as well. This was a bullet pass. He found a soft spot in zone between Chuck Clark and Marcus Peters. When you do in zone coverage, he ran the mesh until he found a soft spot and just sits down there. But it'll go off his hands. So, watch Kareem Hunt here on Chris Board. Oh, right here. If Mayfield looks right here, look at this big play over the top. There is no one there. Deshaun Elliott would have to run all the way over to there before he make a stop. This would have been a big play. But Mayfield did not see him because this is the scramble drill. How does the scramble drill work? Let's clear the screen. Scramble drill is, you've got to be able to run the scramble drill. Harrison Bryant runs it very well here. Moves with his quarterback and just is right there. Well, what is it? What do I mean by the scramble drill? Let's go to the blackboard here. I could do whiteboard, but it hurts, but I feel like it's annoying to the eyes. Scramble drills, if the quarterback breaks the pocket and is running, if you're a receiver, you want to be running with your quarterback. If you're up here, you kind of want to run in. Now, every now and then, depending on your defenders, if your defender's back here, you're going to run in. If your defender's behind you, you're not going to run in as much. You kind of want to run down the field. But you're generally, so if you're over here and you've got a defender here, you're going to run in towards your quarterback. And if the defender's here, maybe you'll run over like that. But if he's behind you, you're really running there. If the defender's here, you're still going to try to get over to help out your quarterback. Scramble drill is a little bit different. Every quarterback maybe has a little bit of different preferences. It depends on arm strength. I think right now, the guy who runs the scramble drill very, very well, Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson, they do a great job on the scramble drill. So that is a scramble drill. Bryant does a decent job on it. He stays with Mayfield. He's in front of his face. A nice, easy throw opportunity, and it just goes off his hands. So let's watch where Baker Mayfield's looking here, because what does he want? He's just looking at this mesh concept. All he's looking at are these three crossers. Njoku, Bryant, and I can't tell what that last one is. Maybe Landry. Probably Landry. No guarantees. No, not Landry. Probably Higgins. Yeah, that's Landry. That's Higgins. He's just looking at those, and he's just got under pressure. And forced. And that Ravens pressure forcing an incompletion. Not really forcing. The Browns had it in their hands, or Harrison Bryant had it in his hands. He drops it, and that will bring on the punting unit for Cleveland. So back-to-back punts in this game. It was touchdown, missed field goal, punt, and now another punt after we watched this one last time. Mayfield under pressure, forced out to his right, throws off the mark. It's not a good throw, but it could have been caught. So miscues on both sides there. As we watch this from the all-22 angle. Mayfield in the gun, looking over the middle. All he wants is the crossers, and nothing doing. And just decent coverage by the Ravens. Good pressure by the D-line. Here comes Jamie Gillen on to punt this one away. His first punt of the day. He's standing at the 31-yard line. Back for the Ravens, it's James Prochet. Single man on the Gunners here. One on one. Instead of sometimes they'll do 2-on-1. Here comes the pressure. Oh, decent protection there. Gillen's gonna send this one deep. James Prochet saying, "I got this." Fair catch called for. Oh no, he lets it bounce and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. Punt did not have any backspin. And Prochet gets lucky here. I don't know if this is something that the Ravens said from his scout. Okay, so a couple things right here. I'm going to stop it. I don't know if what I was going to say is I don't know if this was a scouting thing. We even said, oh, Gillen does not have a backspin. But look, number 23 here. Number 23, Andrew Sandeo. He comes on under center. He comes in right under Charlie Hewlett. As in the quarterback's position, Ravens not 100% sure what's going on here. Like, hold on, what do we do? And I was like, I'm just going to go to my normal position, and we will punt this one away. Not much penetration by the Ravens. Kind of see Jordan Richards make a little bit of a presence there. But a little bit too little too late. So if you watch this punt, watch Prochet. He's like, okay, I got this. And I can't tell the far gunner is right now. Maybe I would be able to a little bit later. Likely not. But he's like, okay, he doesn't go around. Normally what you're going to do, if you're a gunner and the punt returner's here, you go around. You've got a guy who goes around, and you've got a guy who goes in front. So because once his arm's in the air, it doesn't matter if he catches the ball. So you go behind him in case he doesn't. He's bluffing. Well, Prochet was bluffing on this one, but he doesn't go around. 34 and 20 are the two gunners here. 34, Robert Jackson, and 20, Tavier Thomas. It's probably Thomas. The 34 is right here, so Thomas is the guy who should have gone behind. He does at the very end, but just a little bit too late. I mean, Prochet wasn't even close to where the ball bounces. Look where Prochet is. And the ball's going to bounce just a little bit off to his right. And then no backspin. It goes in for a touchback. And that will send the Ravens out to the 20-yard line. Because it's a punt and not a kickoff. And give the Ravens the ball. Let's watch this one last time. A 56-yard punt. Not the way you want that to be done if you're Jamie Gillen. Good job by James Prochet. Again, I'm really curious if that was a scouting report thing. If someone during the week said, hey, James, when you're back there and you're inside the 5-10 yard line, Gillen, this guy doesn't have any backspin. You can try to let this one bounce if you think that's the best move. Because normally you would always catch it because you don't want it to be down at the 1. So after Sandeo fakes almost like a fake punt, fakes the fake punt, and left lefty punter Gillen booms it. Fair catch called for. And oops, I'm not catching it. But I will take a touchback and sending my offense out to the 20-yard line, where Lamar Jackson comes back into work. After he was sacked 2 times on his second drive of the game, here he goes for his third drive. Shotgun. J.K. Dobbins to his left. There's Patrick Ricard here. So he's the fullback, but he's lined up into the right. And it looks like that's Matt Skira. That is Matt Skira, Ravens' former starting center, who the Ravens then benched. He is lined up to the right as well. So heavy formation, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. So it's a 20 personnel, 20 big personnel, I guess. There's no real, I don't know of a real official way to call 6 offensive line packages and stuff like that. As it'll be the sweep here to the right. J.K. Dobbins, he is off and running outside of the numbers to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 11. Sione Takitaki with the stop for Cleveland. They're in Cleveland in their base defense. Look how and where he was initially when he was hit. Look where Dobbins was initially touched. First touch by Takitaki back at the 25-yard line, but he just keeps his legs churning, keeps on moving. And number 28 for Cleveland, Kevin Johnson, he helps them out as well to eventually make the stop. So let's break this down. Okay. Normally when the Ravens run, it's a zone read, right? That is their classic. So who's he watching here? This is not the classic zone read, because what we talked about the classic zone read is normally I'd say you run it from the pistol, but it's someone's going up the middle and someone's going outside. Here, it is sweep right or run left. And the key player for this is Sione Takitaki. Look at Lamar Jackson. He's looking right at Takitaki. Takitaki, he's staying wide. He doesn't go in. He doesn't crash. He stays wide. So what does Lamar Jackson do? He's going to give it to Dobbins. And to go to the right, because he doesn't have it he doesn't have the room to the left. So Dobbins, he'll sweep right. Let's take a look at the blocking scheme. They're going to double team Sheldon Richardson, I should say. DJ Fluker is now in at right tackle instead of Tyree Phillips. And Ben Powers, they're going to double team Richardson. Matt Skira is going to come and block Myles Garrett, who's lined up on the right side, not the left side. Olivier Vernon on the left on this play. And Ricard helping out there, giving a quick shove. Orlando Brown going against Olivier Vernon, run blocking, so he's going to just get down the field and create some space. Macari's going to get to the second level. Or really, he's going to push the guy in front of him. I can't tell the number. It's kind of being blocked, but he's going to push him into the second level. Bradley Bozeman, he's going to pull around on this. And with Willie Snead coming in motion. So Snead's going to take Carl Joseph, and Bozeman's going to take Mac Wilson. And at this point, it's just look. I mean, everyone's blocked up, right? Everyone's supposed to be blocked up, right here. I'll clear the board. Everyone's blocked up, and at this point, Dobbins is like, I can go. I could try to cut there, but look at this hole. Oh, but I can see a safety, so again, I should probably go out there once I get through this initial wave, and again to the second, and then maybe the third level. So that's what he's going to do, and it's exactly what he does here. And you see some pursuit starting to come from the backside. Sione Takitaki, he's unblocked. Once he sees Lamar Jackson doesn't have it, he starts sprinting across, and he's the one who's going to, right over here, he's the one who's going to eventually get the first hit on Dobbins. Jordan Richards, he's unblocked. He's going to come in and help. And the deep safety, I think that's Red Wine. They're going to all come in over there. And to make this stop, Ricard chipping. Talked about Ricard chipping Dobbins, then going into the second level to take on number 50, Jacob Phillips. It was so... Right here, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for Jacob Phillips, I don't know. I feel like this is... You probably want to make the... If you're in a perfect world, you probably want to run it there. Dobbins has to run forward and then cut. But because of Kevin Johnson and Phillips, not really an option. Just watch this burst after the cut here from J.K. Dobbins. Well, let's go to slow-mo. Sweeping across from left to right. Right there he cuts, and then he just accelerates down the field. Finds a new gear, cuts to the outside again, carries defenders, picks up 11, and let's watch this one last time before we move on to the last play of this episode. Dobbins racing it to the left, cutting down the field, and all the way out to the 31-yard line. We're seeing Taki. He was dragged for about 4 or 5 yards there. It's a great job by the rookie running back, J.K. Dobbins. He will check out after this play. Gus Edwards will check in. Ravens run a running back by committee. They take that very seriously. So Gus Edwards is in. All right, from last play shotgun, this play pistol. Here's Patrick Ricard again. DJ Fluker's still in, so it looks like Tyree Phillips' night might be done, and I think part of that is because Vernon just kept on beating him. So they want a veteran to come in and try to deal with the very tricky Olivier Vernon, the 9th-year linebacker, formerly of Miami College. 6'2", 262 pounds, 30 years old. And they're going to put, Ravens are going to say, okay, hey, you want age? We'll put age. We'll put our, instead of a rookie offensive lineman, we're going to put our 8th-year guard formerly out of Alabama on you. Savvy versus savvy. But this one's Gus Edwards, and I don't know why I initially stopped it. So Gus Edwards pushing his way forward out to the 35. They pick up a 4 yards. Malcolm Smith and Sheldon Richardson there to make this stop for the Cleveland Browns. Just straight pistol. Brings Ricard across. The run follows Ricard. You follow your fullback. But he takes a hit. Doesn't follow him all the way because you'll see Ricard. See, I feel like Edwards might have made the wrong read here, and Dobbins would have made a better one. Because Edwards is a north-south runner. He's going to want to go straight down the field. Dobbins, but the best place to run this is right there, right outside of Patrick Ricard. He goes there. Don't get me wrong, it's not like he does decently, but look at this blocking on the outside. I mean, I kind of like the idea of running to the outside on this one just a little bit better. Let's take. I mean, if you take a look just from this perspective, right here, I see you, 56. I see you, Malcolm Smith. But I wouldn't. But so and Dobbins and Edwards are like, okay, I'm just gonna run over you. From my perspective, just because Ricard's blocking him well, Ricard's blocking Jacob Phillips well. Let's just go right there. Let's go, or maybe cut right there, right there. I mean, it is contingent on Dobbins Ricard holding onto that block, but I don't know. I feel like there's more of a big play potential right there. Let's take a look at this offensive line. Myles Garrett again lined up on the right side, trying to take advantage of DJ Fluker. They're going to move Olivier Vernon onto the 3rd-year right tackle, who moved to left tackle after the Ronnie Stanley injury, and they're going to let Olivier Vernon come free. This is a little bit shocking here because this is the play side. Well, why does it make sense? Because they've got a guy named Ben Powers, number 72. He's pulling over, and he's going to be the guy who blocks Vernon. And because the blocking scheme is going to the left, because everyone is blocking up the middle, Vernon doesn't get down the field. He starts going towards the middle also. So he gets sucked into that. And then at that point, Ben Powers gets a block on Vernon. Ravens just trying to clog up the middle here. Do a decent job. I mean, no, they don't really. Sheldon Richardson eventually escapes off of Patrick McCarry at the end, but DJ Fluker versus Myles Garrett right here. How goes it? Fluker drives him to the ground, takes down, looks like Bradley Bozeman as well. So is this a zone read? I think this is designed. I think this was designed. Here's why. Look at Lamar Jackson right at the read. Who's he watching? He's looking over here. Maybe he's looking at Olivier Vernon, but if he's looking at Olivier Vernon, then Lamar Jackson should be the guy to... Why did it switch to the smallest size? Then Lamar Jackson, because Olivier Vernon went here, Jackson should have gone there. Maybe he's watching Jacob Phillips. That could be the guy he's watching, but if you look what Jacob Phillips lines up to start the play, I'm skeptical of this because he's lining up at the middle linebacker spot. The will linebacker, the weak side linebacker. I'm skeptical that's where Lamar Jackson really was looking. I think this is a designed play. The other part, but maybe not, because Gus Edwards, I think he's looking up the middle, saying right here. When Gus Edwards is looking, saying, "Oh my goodness, up the middle, there's no room for me. Outside, I see a little bit of daylight. I can try that." So maybe this is just a designed handoff up the middle, and Edwards just takes it because Lamar Jackson it's very, very rare Lamar Jackson makes the wrong read on the line, on the zone read. He's very, very good at figuring this out. So, but look at this mesh point right here. Look how hard it is for blockers. Right here. Who has the ball? That's still to be determined. Blockers have already started making their moves, but what's the defense doing? They just have to sit there and wait. Wait for the defense to come at them. It's very tough for defenses to be able to pull this off. All right, so if you watch Sheldon Richardson right here. Nice move here by Richardson. He's going to use Larry Ogunjobi as a pick spin-off. He's right here. That's his helmet. That's Richardson. And you can't see him, but right behind him is Ogunjobi. Right in front of him is Ogunjobi. And he just uses Ogunjobi to pick to spin off and then try to get over there and take him down. And he helps Malcolm Smith take down Gus Edwards, who was fighting through it. Ravens in the 20 personnel. No tight ends on this one. And I think let's watch this one more time, but I think that's all for my notes on this play. So let's just watch this one more time. Again, I do think this could, if Lamar, you've got to wonder why Lamar Jackson didn't keep this. I mean, maybe he thought Jacob Phillips would come free on the edge. If it's his own, or else it's a designed run, and Edwards just makes a very good cut. We'll see that. It could be even on this drive. We'll see to finish this drive. We'll see that. Edwards does have very good vision. He's a north-south runner. Doesn't really run east-west. Does make an east-west cut. Doesn't make a full east-west cut though. And that is where we will let to a close. Thank you for giving me your time and watching episode 7 of this Ravens-Browns Deep Dive series. If you've not done so already, please check out the previous episodes of this series, as well as the next episodes. If you're watching a recorded version, it may or may not be out already. If you're watching the stream, well, then it is likely going to be out sometime tomorrow. Also, please check out all my videos on Sportscaster, sportscastr.com, username YosefM613. Check out my podcast, Sports with Yosef. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. That is Sports with Yosef. Check all of that out. Check out all of my articles on Flurry Sports, Sportscaster News, Tackler, and Rocky and Meisty. A whole lot of great articles there. Well, to make it easier for you, I created a website because it's a lot of content spread out over a lot of places. YosefM613.com, where you can subscribe and get email updates every time I post new content. YOSEFM613.com. If you're on Twitter, I'd really appreciate if you could give me a follow so that I can really try to grow my audience. And Twitter username YosefM613. All right, Browns on their third drive, they could go 3 and out and just punt it away. Or not 3 and out. They get a first down off of a penalty, and then next 3 plays after that have to punt it away. The Ravens, they're starting to put together a drive, an 11-yard run, a 4-yard run. One by Dobbins, one by Edwards. They're driving. Ball now on their 35. Can they put together a drive to try to take a lead in this game? We will see in episode 8. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there. Have a great day.